You can see the biographies of everyone in this small little booklet. I'm not going to introduce them to save some time. And we're going to keep this very conversational. We're going to have time for question and answers in the middle, and then we might come back to the panel with some more questions. So, Ismail, you're first up. So, Ismail, you come from Somaliland. Many people in this room have heard quite a bit actually about Somaliland and what they're doing on SDG 16 plus, but maybe not all have. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Thank you, Jordan, and thanks to everyone in the room. Before I go to what we are doing at the SDGs, let me give you some overview in my organization and where I am from. I work for Center for Policy Analysis. In 2014, when we graduated our second degree, we established this platform and in order to create where the citizens and the decision makers can at least engage each other and the citizens can hold accountable with the decision makers. And the most interesting thing is we were paying for the first 5 years in our bucket what we were doing. For the last 5 years, we hosted more than 14 public discussions where 75 panelists, including the Chief Justice, the key ministers, attended. And the citizens got an opportunity to ask them their concerns. When we come to the SDGs, and I'm from Somaliland, an unrecognized state internationally, but we are democratically elected leaders, and also we have active civil society organizations. And not being recognized, it doesn't stop us to engage the world and to present, like, for example, this forum is what we have done inside. So mostly the civil society organizations and the leaders take the messages. In Somaliland, what we have done for the SDGs, we established Somaliland SDG 16 Plus Coalition. Is the first time that the civil society come together and establish a forum which directly works for the improves. For since one of the highlights we have done was at least we localized the SDGs and translated into the local language. For example, the 17 goals of SDGs we translated into Somali. One of the members of the coalition translated into Somali. We engage with the leaders and give them training. For example, the decision makers, we give them training and at least explain to them their responsibility. So at least awareness raising reached from decision makers up to the citizens. And also for the platforms we created, it helped the civic citizens to engage the leaders and hold accountable. For example, if the politicians didn't see some people who are approaching them and asking them, why didn't you do this? They will not do this. The good thing is Somaliland, this National Development Plan, which is 5 years time, is aligned with the SDGs. And I think it's one of the few nations in Africa which their National Development Plan is directly aligned with the SDGs. And today, we are very proud that we produced the first SDG 16 Plus Progress Report from Somaliland in New York. And we presented, and it has a lot of things. One of the key challenges, I will mention only 2 key challenges during when we are preparing the report. One of them was that there is a limited access to justice, or the access to justice is only in the urban areas, not reaching the rural areas. The other thing is data gap. For example, there is a data available in some places, but it's not meaningful because, for example, the cases in the courts, they will say to you, we have 14,000 cases. So you don't know how many people were involved. The other thing is sometimes the leaders, they don't need to share with you, including the civil society and international organizations, because there is no active coordination. There is a statistics law, but it's not enforced. The third thing is sometimes the data is not available or are not recorded. So all these things we talked about our SDG 16 plus report. So
thank you, Ismail. So sounds really great. So you have a coalition, you've come together for a progress report. What are the next steps? What do you need to take this work forward?
For example, now at least the good thing is we have a baseline. After 5 years or 4 years later, we can know if we made a progress about SDG 16 plus. So at least we have a baseline at this time. This report is the baseline. The second thing is, now we are doing all these issues voluntarily. We are paying all expense in our pockets. So if we get, for example, some support for the people who signed this commitment, as a Somaliland, officially we didn't sign, but still we are taking the responsibility. So if we get a support from the people who signed, who need to reach the agenda of 2030, now the first 5 years has gone. So we need your support. So we at least we can solve the access justice issues and data issues. So all these, if we get support. Thank you.